Are you in your 40s and struggling with sleep? It might be related to perimenopause, or you might just be struggling with sleep. Let's talk about strategies that can help. Hi, I'm Dr. Megan, and I guide people in growing, learning, and fostering connection and curiosity. And no, I'm not a medical doctor. My doctorate is in special education and behavior analysis. So the information I'm sharing today about sleep is not medical advice. I'm just sharing my personal story with how I improved my sleep when it became affected by perimenopause. I am a person who thrives off of 8 hours of sleep. So one of the biggest changes for me when I didn't even know that I was starting to go through perimenopause was when my sleep changed. I started having more difficulty falling asleep at night, but the worst was waking up in the middle of the night around 3 or 4 a.m., wide awake, brain just rumbling, and could not fall back asleep for the life of me. I was baffled because, like I said, I always valued my sleep. At the time, I had no clue that this was part of perimenopause, but thankfully, I had a friend who was really into different supplements, and he recommended a variety of things for me to try. So I'm going to share those with you today, and maybe they'll be helpful for you as well. As I mentioned, I'm not a medical doctor. This is not medical advice. And I'm not selling these products either. I'm just sharing with you what helped me, be able to fall asleep, but also stay asleep within the night. So the first one was trying magnesium glycinate. Specifically, I like the brand by Dr. Berg, and I get it off Amazon. And it just really helps bring your brain down a bit. So I take magnesium glycinate. I also alternate that. So some nights I'll take magnesium glycinate, and then some nights I take magnesium threonate by a company called Magtein, Magtein. And the alternating really helps because if I take one for too many nights in a row, it doesn't seem to have an effect. There have been times up and down throughout this perimenopause experience where this racing thoughts would happen, and a lot of anxiety. I've never experienced anxiety in my life, so this was very new to me. And during those days, taking L-theanine, specifically I take the brand by Thorne, has helped a ton. I would take it sometimes during the day, or sometimes if I was getting ready to go to bed at night and I could already feel that I was in a racing mode, I would take that along with that, whether it was a magnesium glycinate or magnesium threonate. I recently learned about during the 10 days before we start our period, we struggle to get deeper sleep based on the different changes in our hormones. This was in a podcast that Dr. Stacy Sims did. And it's really funny because my friend had kept saying, you need to take Apigenin, you need to take Apigenin. And every time I would try Apigenin, I didn't sleep well. Well, Dr. Stacy Sims talks about taking Apigenin during those 10 days before you start your period to help get back into that deeper sleep. So I tried that this past month and it worked really well. I didn't take it every night, but I took it a few times and I was able to get deeper sleep on those nights. You'll also hear people talk about meditation, yoga. I've definitely tried those things and wish I could get into a more consistent routine. Unfortunately, I have not been able to, but definitely on times when I've made it to a nighttime meditation sound bath, it's usually a lot easier to sleep when I get home. I also have found that there's some different teas and various non-alcoholic drinks that are sold that have ashwagandha and some other calming natural supplements in them, like lemon balm and things like that. So I've tried a variety of those and those all seem to be very helpful. I don't have a particular one that I would say this is the best one. I just kind of bounce around and try different things based on their taste and just what feels relaxing to me at the time. And of course, if you're drinking coffee too late in the day, that's just a common, no matter what, sleep strategy. If I think it's supposed to be after 12. If you drink coffee, you're basically setting yourself up for a struggle. So I do try to limit how late in the day I drink caffeine. And I definitely notice when I drink caffeine later in the day, I have a harder time falling asleep. And it's not just coffee, right? Various things have caffeine in them. So you want to make sure to be keeping an eye on that as well. Besides all of these various changes that I just told you about relating specifically to my perimenopause journey, as a behavior analyst, there's a whole lot of other information about sleep that I know as well. So I will share that as general tips and strategies in a future video too. If this information about perimenopause or sleep resonates with you, make sure to give me a follow.